Hi, Eric Wilson here, independent licensed mechanic, 30 years of experience. In the next 6 to 7 minutes, I'm going to show you the inside story on this 2011 Ford Fusion so you can make yourself an informed decision. Okay, now coming in on the front left tire, you got about 50% tread on aggressive snow tires, so down but definitely not out. Now coming behind the front left tire, this is the lower ball joint and it is tight. That's critical because it's the only thing that holds the wheel to the chassis. This is your outer CV boot there and full of grease, a little bit of a leak in there in the grease, but not something excessive. That's important to be full of grease because it lubricates the axle when it goes around a corner. That is the inner. Here, I'll get another shot here. Okay, and this is the inner CV boot there, and again, full of grease, and it's important to be, now this is a leak point. If it was gonna leak, this is where the drive shaft comes out of the tranny, and if it was gonna leak, it would leak right there, and that's good and dry. So no, in fact, speaking of leaks, this is the bottom of the transmission here. Good see for yourself, good and dry. Bottom of the motor, another leak point would be here in the bottom of the motor, and good and dry. So leak wise, we're not too much of an issue. A little bit of a grease, bit of a rip on this boot right there, but it's not ripped completely, but so you see the little bit of grease there. Now this is the left sway bar link, and these sway bar links are very recent because they've been recently placed there from there to there, and that controls the sway when it goes around the corner. Important to be connected. This is your rear ball joint on your front left tire, and that is tight. This is your left outer CV boot. Pardon me, your left outer tie rod, and that is the most critical thing in the entire car. It's the only thing that holds the wheel to the steering, and it is tight. Now brakes, you've got about 10,000 K left. They're definitely down, but not out on your front brakes. Now coming across, now this is your catalytic converter. Nothing wrong with it. Big problem is, so people are getting under here and going cut, and you've got yourself $1,000 repair, and they're taking this cat to the wrecking yard and getting anywhere from $50 to $200 for it. Well, I've got good news. If you buy the car, I'm going to put on a free catalytic theft protection system of stainless steel wires that's going to stop that from getting stolen, and that's free if you buy, my friend. So just contact me, and I'll be happy to do that for you. It doesn't take me long at all. Now, coming across to the for the front right tire, getting about 50% tread on all season aggressive snow tires, so down but definitely not out. The right outer CV boot, now that one's good and dry, and the right inner CV boot right here, good and dry. More importantly, this is the leak point right here where the drive shaft would come out of the tranny. See for yourself, good and dry. So leaks, I'm not seeing anything of any issue. This is the lower ball joint on the right and the lower ball joint on the right. There's two of them. They're both tight. Your brakes, you got about 10,000 K left in your brakes, definitely down but not out. Your right outer CV, your right outer tie rod, that is tight. Your right sway bar link connector from here up to here, intact and doing its job. Okay, so brake wise, leak wise, suspension wise, I'm not seeing anything of any concern so far. Now following your exhaust down, your exhaust is intact. No brakes, no leaks that I can see. Coming back to the right rear tire, about 30% tread on aggressive snow tires here. Definitely down more in the rear than they are in the front. So you get about 30% tread, definitely down. On your right sway bar link connector from here to here, and that is intact. Your right rear suspension is intact, doing its job. Your right, now more important, this tube right here is a shock. It is full of oil, and if it was leaking, you would see oil all the way down there. That is good and dry. Okay, now on your rear brakes, you've got about 20,000 K more brakes on the rear than you have on the front. So you've got a good amount of brakes left on the rear, on your rear so far. Now coming across to your left rear tire, getting about 30% tread, a little less tread on the 30% tread on the rear. That's compared to about 50% on the front. Your left suspension intact, doing its job. The left sway bar connector right from here to here, intact and doing its job. Your left rear shock getting full of oil, it's good and dry. Your brakes on the rear, yeah, about 20,000 K on your rear brakes. So brake wise, leak wise, suspension wise, I'm not seeing anything. Brakes, tires a little bit down. Yeah, I mean, under, rust wise, not even that bad for this year car. You've got 173,551, so definitely not high K. Got a crack in your windshield, just on the bottom there. It's actually not a sign of vision if you're not really concerned about it. And with the motor running, there is... Okay, there is... Wait to the light. Okay, I'll light that. You do have a low tire light, and that's on the right rear, and I'm going to put some air in that right now, actually. Other than that, no check engine lights that I can see. Looking clean. And I'm going to take you out and show you the condition of the motor now. Okay, with the motor running. You hear the shot of the exhaust with the motor running? Very clean. Now, one of the things I always do is I take the oil cap off and I look underneath there for any kind of indication of white goo, which would be a mixture of oil and antifreeze, which would be an internal leak and be a big problem. And I'm not seeing any indication of that in here. In fact, I'm not hearing any indication on this motor of any issues running at all. As far as I can tell, it's been well maintained. It definitely doesn't have high K. And you've got yourself brand new battery. And as far as and a good runner, as far as I can tell. I mean, I don't know, other than you got tires are down a little bit at the back, the outer and the left outer CV boot, a bit of a tear in it, but other than that, I'm not seeing anything of any major concerns that you're going to have to deal with right off the get-go. Now, hopefully this will help you make an informed decision. And now, and remember, if you buy the vehicle, contact me, because I'm going to put the free catalytic theft protection system on and a free 10% fuel saving device that is just something I've done for 20 years, never fails, and saves 10% of fuel. This costs you nothing, my friend. Just contact me. I'll have you in and out in 20 minutes. Hopefully this will help make an informed decision. I do this on any and all vehicles. If you're selling, I can help. If you're buying, I can help. I do the tech video to show people the inside story, and believe me, it just keeps everybody honest. Have a good day.